Yo, that was he right there.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is Shut 'Em Down Radio. And we doing an L interview with Hodge G, aka Fantom of the Beats. Yo, you on, family?
Let's shut them down. Let's shut them down. Let's shut them down.
Yes, sir. What's going on, family?
What's good? I'm chilling. I'm out here in New York. I'm in BK. You know what I mean? Get ready to rock out with y'all for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to just all day. You know, Queens and BK got that connect. They got that connect.
You already know, fam.
What's good, fam?
Now, I'm chilling. Now, Fantom, man, yo, you got an L history, man, with the music, beat producing from the legendary group UMC. Talk to the people, bro.
Oh, man, yo, you know, there's a lot of people out there who they couldn't put two, you know, one plus one together to make two and understand that, you know, how G just transitioned into Fantom of the Beat. You know, every so often you gotta reinvent yourself. So, you know, coming from the group UMCs back in the days and dealing with Wild Pitch and dealing with the politics of the label workings and all of that, you know what I mean? I got a little dissatisfied and, you know, I just figured out, wait a minute, I'm great at making these beats. I know how to make records. So, you know, let me just go into that. You know what I mean? Let me go into that real quick. And it started actually, it started showing itself. It started making sense. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of people don't know I'm the one who I was on the Extension Level Event album with Busta Rhymes. I did the record Take It Off. You know, that was like one of my first big records. And, you know, when you got Janet Jackson on the album with you, you know what I'm saying? You doing good things.
Real talk.
You're doing good things.
On there. Real talk.
Yeah.
Now, Fantom,
yeah.
Now, how did you start? Like, far as, you know, as a kid, was you musically inclined? Did you do piano, band, or how did you start?
I was a geek, basically.
Okay.
I was a good school kid. I was a school kid, good in school, good at math. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Math was like my favorite subject.
Math. Right.
Yeah, math was my favorite subject in school. And you know, just growing up, I grew up in Brooklyn. I grew up across the street from the Brooklyn Museum Botanical Gardens. I was on Eastern Parkway, Flatbush. Okay. You know what I mean? Like those, that's my stomping ground.
History. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's my stomping ground. Yep.
Right.
You know, we used to run through the park, run through Prospect Park, run through Botanical Gardens. We used to do all of that. 320, the library. You know what I mean?
Right.
Grand Army Plaza, all of that. You know, so you know, I came up good. You know, but culture was always the culture of music and dance and, you know, all of that was there. You know what I'm saying? We was around the kids that was doing it. You know.
Real talk.
So once I moved to Staten Island, and my man RNS was out there. So for a lot of people out there that don't know, RNS, he's like the godfather of production and hip hop out in Staten Island. So, you know, you got your Shaheems, you got your Wu-Tangs, you got your Pop the Brown Hornet, you got your UMCs, you got your King Just, you know what I mean? Like that was our square out there like that. We was all connected like that. And
and that's crazy because you made Supreme Clientele, man. Like Apollo Kids, man. That's like one of my favorite tracks right there, man. Damn.
My G, I appreciate you. Yeah, that's when the G Ghost came back home. As soon as he came home, that was the first record right there. You know what I'm saying? So that brought him back into the light real quick. You know what I mean?
Yo, man.
And
like
that
you
was
must have been zoning on that beat. I didn't mean to cut you, but man, I gotta give you your props, man. Like that beat is crazy right there. How did you even come up with that beat? You know what I mean?
I'm a connoisseur. I got albums. I stay with albums. I go buy albums. I collect albums. And, you know, it just took one day for me to just sit down and, you know, crack a brew, you know what I'm saying? And just go through my music and listen to some of them albums off that 1200. turntable technique. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
listen, that's crazy. Like, you brought up the 1200 technique. Like, that's golden right now because it's hard to get. You know, it's crazy. Somebody just asked me, like, can you get 1200s? And they rare right now.
I probably got like 4 of them in the stash.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's for real. That's real talk.
Now, what's crazy is, right, you know, as producers, you know, y'all create, but with the drum patterns and stuff like that, how's your drum pattern process? Because a lot of people, you know, they regurgitate their drums, they all sound the same. How do you differentiate the drum patterns?
My drum patterns are basic. They go along with the music. So however I chop the music, wherever I hear the kick and the snare at in the chops, that's exactly where I put my drums at.
Okay, I see what
you see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that's a dope.
So however I cut it, that's exactly where the drums go. The same way that the sample goes, you know, and just beef it up. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to get slick on it, you know, sometimes you'll throw a couple of extra hi-hats in there. You know, you throw those extra the clashes to you know, enhance whatever you want to enhance. Yeah.
Right. Now, what's your weapon of mass destruction as far as beat machines?
Oh, I'm MPC 2000.
Nice. All right.
I'm MPC. And then when it comes to, you know, software or whatever, it's Logic.
Okay, Logic. So you never mess with Pro Tools? Because, you know, everybody's like, oh, you know, the industry standard. Or how you feel about that as far as programming?
Nah, Pro Tools is more for mixing and mastering and stuff like that, not making beats. Logic, you can make beats in, really. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it works. Huh?
Yeah. I said Reason. Remember?
Yeah.
It's funny that, you know, I feel like as a producer, y'all had to work harder back in the days. Because what was it, a SP? Don't quote me on this one, but a SP 1000 or whatever. Remember, it was like the first drum machine that was like official.
It was the SP 12 drum machine.
Yeah, oh, my bad. I said a 1000 then.
Yeah. And it was the Kai 950.
Right.
The Kai 950 was a module, you know what I mean, that you had to hook up to. You had to hook up to a drum machine to trigger the samples, but you sample in the Kai, and then the SP12. That was a standard for drums. Like a lot of heads like to rock drums off of that. You know.
Now, you came up on the DAT machines and stuff like that. Do you think the technology is better now opposed to back in the days, or how do you feel about that as far as, you know, producing?
Now, the technology is better. It's kind of thin. You know what I mean? Because it's not as heavy as when we was doing, you know, the other machines back then. You know, right now everything is digital. So the digital world, it's a little thinner. It's not chunky like it used to be.
Like MIDI and all that. Right.
And then when we used to use the 2-inch reels. I mean the reel to reel. So you know everything was warm. It was a tape. And then there was no editing like we do today. Our editing today is 1, 2, 3. Back then we had to slice and chop the tape. You know what I mean?
In order to all these producers out here, because you know, I mean, I'm loving this right now, man. Word up, because these producers don't know what a real producer is. You can make beats, but then you have producers. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I say the same thing. I say the same thing all the time. You know, a lot of dudes, you're not producers. You're a beat maker real quick.
Thank you.
But a producer really got down and dirty and grimy and got into it. And you know what I mean?
And manipulating things and reversing stuff. Now, it's crazy. All right. Like, even with the DJing, you know what I'm saying, and how you incorporate it in the beats. And, like, what we played was fire right there. Take them to church. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was definitely hard right there. That was that boom, bap, hip-hop, bars for bar, line for line. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
You already know. And the beat sound full. like a lot of people, they beats be sounding hollow. It's more synthesized and stuff like that. You know how
and it's one dimension.
And
it's just one dimension.
Like, you got choruses, breakdowns, all of that, and that makes a real producer.
That's a producer. You gotta, you know what I mean? You don't want to keep people, just standing still stuck. You want to give them dimension. You want them to jump. You want them to flip. You want them to say, damn, and then say, okay, and then go back to like, all right, I'm going to cool out right now on this part. And then, you know what I'm saying? You give it them, you give them dimension. And that's what real producers do. Like even from, if you look at the top producers that are out there, all their beats, they flow in different waves, different patterns. It switches up, it drops, it's introduction to it. It's it's not no one dimensional thing, you know what I mean, that just goes straight through, looped out, and that's it.
It's crazy that you said that because, we come from the era where you made an album, you had intros, you had outros, and you had what you call like what's the word for it? Intermission. Skits. My bad. Yeah, like skits. So how do you think the game changed as far as the evolving of albums? You know what I'm saying? Like everything is a single now. So how do you feel about that? Opposed to back in the days, you came out with an album and we was waiting on it.
It's a loss of creativity. There's you know what I mean? There's no creativity no more. Everything is just boom, let me do this and that's it. And you know what I mean? I'll repeat this 3 or 4 different times again, and hopefully the next record, just because it sounds like the first one, will keep on moving what we need. You know what I mean? But there's no creativity no more. The structure is lost. I'm not gonna lie, the structure is lost. So, everybody's out for the quick buck, and if one record hits,
did it for the love. And that's what it's about, especially making beats and creating.
Yeah, it was like putting pieces of a puzzle together, and you know what I mean, and having people look at it and see the work in it. You know what I'm saying? So now everything is cookie cutter. Everything is just manufactured, at the same speed, at the same rate. You know what I mean? The frequency is off. You know what I mean? But we on the right frequency right now. That's why I come out with records like, Take 'Em to Church and Look Out Boy. And, we even redid I Ain't No Joke by Rob.
I played it before you came on.
But we call that, You Don't Want No Smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's the creativity.
Correct.
That's the creativity. And we still giving homage to the originators. You know what I mean?
Correct. Exactly. Like, I feel like this. We all came from the era where creativity was crazy, especially, and you would stand out. And a producer could produce a whole album, but make different melodies, different symphonies, and stuff like that, opposed to getting a million producers on an album. And that's crazy, you know what I mean? And you holding that down. So look, you got your album out, producer's album, audiodrome.
Audiodrome out right now everywhere. You know what I mean?
Go get that.
All I did was just take a bunch of music that I already, you know what I mean, put together, programs set up, and I put the right artists on top of the beats. And, because nowadays, in order to prove yourself a successful executive producer, you got to show them that, look, I could come through with a whole package right now.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? That's it.
Any genre.
Yep.
Exactly.
And it's different genres on there. R&B, hip-hop, reggae. You know what I mean? Nice. It's all there on one album. So that's how you produce an album.
Now, what's crazy is UMC's Blue Cheese, man. That take me back to a time, you know what I mean? Like, the essence of hip-hop. You get what I'm saying? Like, it told a story. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's impactful. And people don't understand the beat producers should get acknowledged just as much as the artist. Because if it wasn't for the beat producer, you'd be rapping a cappella. So, how do you feel about that? Like, a lot of artists, they don't big up the producers, or you even got artists that collab with people, but they don't even big them up. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about that? Do you
Well,
think
you remember?
Yeah.
You remember there was a time when, not to cut you, but you remember there was a time when there was one time when it was the DJ.
Right.
He was the dope. He was the hype. He was the dope man.
Right.
Then it became the artist who's hyper than the DJ now. That was bigger. Yeah. And then the hype man. Then you had the producer in Pharrell's time, or Teddy Riley's time, and they was getting seen as the producers. So it's a up and down. It's a roller coaster. It just depends on what's hot at the time. So I just believe that everybody participates. They do what they got to do. But yeah, it's a producer if he's a real producer. But don't get it twisted. The artist could be a producer too. See, people they don't understand that word producer. Like you got producers that's on Broadway producing Broadway hit shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the producer is just the organizer. The producer is just the one who organizes everything, puts it together the right way. It instills the right, temperature, you know what I mean, direction for the climate. Director, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So your artist, he could be a producer too. He could be the one who produced all the vocals. He says, boom, this is how we're going to do the choruses. This is how we're going to do the breakdowns, you know what I mean, vocally, you know what I'm saying? And, oh yeah, beat man, I need you to switch the beat right here so this way the chorus fits with what you know what I mean? What's going on. Yeah.
Now, so did you ever have an experience that you made a beat, but you think the artist wasn't up to par to go on your beat?
Yeah, I had those, but guess what? I took the money.
So that sounds like Brooklyn right now.
I had those, but I took the money.
Yeah.
And
definitely gotta get
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the record wasn't going to go nowhere anyway. You know why? Because as a professional and you're involved in the game, you already know this ain't going to go no further because they don't want to listen. They think they know it all, and it don't. It's like, all right, cool. So that's what you want to do? Go ahead, do it. Just pay me, and I'll see you later.
And you know what's funny? Artists would think somebody's taken away from their artistry if they hear it from a producer they made the beat. But in actuality, the person that made the beat could help you a lot with your delivery and everything. So
guess what? You remember I was a rapper. So whatever beats I make, I know exactly how it should be spat on. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Every snare hi-hat.
That's why Kanye got rocking. That's how he got rocking, because he raps too.
Right. Exactly.
So it's easy for him to give you a track and just give you a heads up on, look, try it like this, and that's where the flow is. You know what I mean? That's your void. That's your niche right there. Get right in there, and you'll be all right. And do what you got to do. I'm only here to help you. Here to help you.
Have you ever been in producer battles? You know how they pull out MPCs and go for this? Did you ever do that?
Nah, I already became who I was. You know what I mean? Before all that battling stuff and all of that. So there's no need for me to jump into no battles. I ain't saying that I'm the best producer, but I'm not gonna get into the ring with nobody and take a loss. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna stay in my lane and do what I do.
Right. And what's crazy?
Not like I have to take a loss, because I am dope, but you know, I did some how do you call it? Just just real quick, I got on and I showed some people how to make a joint. You know, I took a sample, chopped it up for them. You know what I mean? Just in front of the audience, but it wasn't a battle. It was just, boom, this is how I do it. You know what I mean? I like to do talking, motivational speeches, motivational talks, and You know, just showing people how it go down. You know, so
now
that's where it's at for me.
Right now, do you feel that producer, like somebody fresh out the gate, got an MPC or whatever they use, it could be a Roland, whatever. Do you think they need to go to school, or do you think it's better learning on your own?
I don't know. I always found school. School was very, very. It was good, but the streets is what taught me.
That's right.
You know, learning on my own in the street, being around the artists, being around the people, just seeing what they doing,
the whole culture.
and pick it up. You know what I mean? And then going and I lock in the crib on my own, close the door. You know what I mean? And just play with the machines and do what I do.
You came from an era where emails just started and stuff like that, and you was hands on with the artists. Do you like sending people beats, or you rather be in a session with them?
I don't really like sending people beats, but that's the game right now because they can snatch anything and run with it
and jump on your joint and run with it.
I'll pay you later. Like, nah, dog. This is cash and carry. Like, you gotta pay me now before you even use it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? But it goes down like that. And I like to be in the sessions with I like to be in the sessions with the artists, but sometimes that ain't possible. I could be here and 50 could be in California, and you know what I mean. Ain't no way that I'm jumping all the way over there now. If he took a beat and he was to do it, but see, he's a producer too, so he knows better. He knows how to play, so I can trust him with what he does.
And speaking of 50, you did Magic Stick.
Yeah,
Man,
no doubt.
How that came about?
That was my biggest record, but we going further in a second. But that came about because I was rocking with 50 way back when he was on Sony with Trackmasters. Right. It didn't transpire in. Yeah. I gave them beats and it didn't go through then, but he liked them. Right. So later on, after everything happened, when he went through his turmoil, he became 50 Cent. My cousin was his DJ.
Okay.
So shout out to Giz, my cousin Giz.
All right.
He's from Flatbush, Brooklyn. Yeah. And he was his DJ, and I grew them up. You know what I'm saying? So they watched me being UMCs and traveling and doing everything. He was like, "Look, if you got some beats right now, I need something for this kid 50 Cent who's working." I'm like, "I know 50." And he was like, "Yo, just send it to me." Boom, sent it to him. Gave it to Shaw Money. Shaw gave it to 50.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then that was it. They called me like 2 weeks later, come to the studio and let's lay this down.
Yo, that's dope right there, man. Shout out to 50 Cent, man. Actually, I'm close to him too. I'm right in Rosedale, Queens. So, you know, me in Rockdale, right. So, but yeah, man. And you did something with Inspector Deck too. That's crazy.
A lot of Inspector Deck's music. Immobility was the album.
Oh.
Yeah, that whole album. Me and Ayatollah did that album.
Nice.
So, we rocked out with Deck. We rocked out with Capadonna. I rocked out with Ghost. You know what I mean?
Yo, you know what I could tell you? I know that
she
right.
All of them, yeah.
You know what I noticed? Raekwon.
What's that?
You know what I noticed? I noticed that the artists you work with, you have respect for their craft. I can tell that. I don't know if anybody told you that. You know what I mean? Like a lot.
I love their craft. You see how it meshes. It's a tight knit mesh. You know what I mean? Like it goes together. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just a producer who's just doing a random beat for just anybody. It's people that I grew up off of. I know. You know what I mean? We ran the trenches together. You know what I'm saying? We got a history together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So these are all people that I dealt with.
Definitely.
These are all people I dealt with.
Now, about copyright and stuff, right? Especially with beats. You know, you ever heard of a poor man's copyright?
Yeah, that's where you mail it to yourself.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like nowadays a lot of people don't deal with the business. They scared of the business. You get what I'm saying? And I see you about your business, especially with the beats, because like you said, somebody would just run off with your beat and it'd be over with. So with the process of an artist, like this is what I want to know. When you make a beat, right? I heard that is it a 50-50 split as far as the beat? You know, like you produce and they get on it, or how does that go?
Well, it gets broken down in different ways. First of all, you either you're talking about residuals and royalties,
right?
Or are you talking about publishing? You know what I mean?
Right.
So let's talk publishing. Publishing is a 50-50 split. I produced it, you did the lyrics. So publishing, that's 50-50. So we getting $1 million from ASCAP. I get 500,000, you get 500,000. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a nice split right there, though.
Unless now you use a sample.
Okay.
So now the sample people got to get paid too.
Damn. Now let me ask you something, Fantom. Yeah, I'm listening, Fan. Finish. I didn't mean to cut you.
So now your split is 50-50 between y'all after the sample clearance get done and they get their split.
Right. Now,
so whatever's left is your 50-50 split.
Right. Now, did you ever go through this situation where you did a project and the people come looking for you for as samples and stuff like that? Because I hear a lot of artists, you know, they think they could get away with it and, you know, and they come after you when you know, the song blow up.
Well, I got two situations.
All right.
What is they put a cease and desist letter out because it was a sample used and nobody cleared it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It wasn't cleared the right way. You know, the label's supposed to clear that, or you're supposed to have a sample clearance person on it to clear it. You know what I mean? So they'll put a cease and desist letter out, but at the end of the day, they'll be like, look, pay me this much and everything is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Right.
And then I had the Magic Stick situation where I did the record for 50
on the soundtrack. King's Ransom.
No, that was good. That was all good. I got paid for all of that. But originally I did the record for 50.
Oh,
and I got paid for 50, but the next thing you know, they didn't use it on Get Rich or Die Trying.
Oh.
Remember?
All right.
That was for Get Rich or Die Trying.
Right.
So what ended up happening,
they
gave it to Lil' Kim.
Oh.
And they sold it to her for way more than,
that's crazy. That's some history.
I got paid.
Right. I said that's some history right there.
Yeah. So they sold it to Lil' Kim's album on Atlantic, and that's where that whole situation came up with me and Fitty. So it was like, all right, we gotta take care of this because y'all paid me 10.
Right, to rectify
you know what
the
I mean?
Situation. Right.
But y'all not gonna get a 100, and I ain't gonna get a piece of that too. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. And business is business, man. I'm happy I rectified that because that was a dope song.
We did. We had to rectify it, and in rectifying that was a struggle. It was a battle because you know when you coming back for yours. You know, some people are looking at you sideways, like, how you go, nah, I'm old that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm old that. Real talk.
Yeah.
And if somebody real, they going to give it to you.
Yeah. And it happened. And I got taken care of. And we went, we just moved forward. So now it's like, I just felt like, yo, let me go and show all these dudes. Let me show the public how I really, really get down with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I do. This is what I really, really do, and I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's what hip-hop about, rap is about. You know what I'm saying? You got to love the culture. You get what I'm saying? So definitely.
And at the same time, you gotta build the culture up. You can't break.
Right.
You're not supposed to break it down. You're supposed to build it up. So anything that I'm doing right now is for the culture, and it's to help to move it forward.
Exactly. Because it's kind of crazy. There's a lot of creative artists out here, right? But I feel like a lot of times it gets stagnated. It's like it's a disconnect. Even with songs, you get what I'm saying? Like with some producers, some songs, and everybody, they proud of what they created. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like, especially when it comes to producers, give another producer props. You get what I'm saying? Like, because they learn from somebody.
I was just having that.
Somebody like Jay Dilla.
I was just having that conversation. We was just having that conversation.
Okay.
And it's like, yo, this is a business. That's one.
Right.
It's a culture. Cool. It's an art form. Yep. You understand what I'm saying? So we're available. We're here to show our art form, to support the culture, and to be involved in the business. You know? And there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with giving props to the other one. You know why? Because guess what? They're gonna ask you later on down the road to I want you to collaborate with me on this album right here. I know you dope and you might have the sound that I need for this album.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you could do that. But there's a lot of people out there that's greedy too. And they don't want to share nothing.
Facts. Real talk.
They don't want to share anything. So, what are we to do? We got to be the best of who we are. Be our best selves.
That's the truth. Now, Fantom, we're going to get into this track right here. This is Look Out Boy. Talk to the people, you know what I mean? How did this come about?
I mean, Look Out Boy, that's a conglomeration between me and my man, Ron Recca. We grew up together. We did the Sound Factory. We did the Red Zone. We did all of that back in the days. And, as we got older, I'm the producer. He's a rapper. You know what I mean? We just figured out, look, here's the record. And that's just the second record. The first record was called Autobiography that came off the album. But this record, Look Out Boy, was just me and him. Like I said, we sat in the crib one day, cracked a brew or two, rolled up that bump. You know how that go. And made the beat, and he started writing to it right then and there.
That's what I'm talking about, man. We gonna get into that track, man. Shut 'em down radio. We rocking out. Look out, boy, man. No.
Did you hear it? You heard the end of his chorus? Who shot him?
Wow. Yo, that was
We
hard.
Still waiting to find out who shot him.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Who shot him?
Mm-hmm.
We still don't know what happened with Biggie and Pop.
Exactly. That was hard.
Who shot him?
Real talk, man. That was fire, man. Now, speaking of Big,
I appreciate you.
Yeah, you already know, my G. Yo, that's real hip-hop right there. The cadence, the bars, the beat, the breakdown. Yo, I got a motto on the show. We play no kiwi juice. We play that real hip-hop rap. If you ain't coming with the shit, no kiwi juice. Y'all should not play kiwi juice on Shut 'Em Down Radio. This is for the artists worldwide, man.
That's it.
The producers, man. Pay homage, man.
It.
Like straight up and down, man.
It.
Like pay homage.
Let them
That's
know.
what we about over here.
Shut them down.
Let them know.
Shut them down.
We shutting that shit down, man. Like, yo, let me talk my shit, man. Because you know what? I'm feeling good right now, man. Appreciate you for calling up because you already know, man. Because, yo, cats got it twisted out here, man. Pay homage to the OGs in the game, man. The trendsetters that set the precedent. So y'all could be out here and eat, man. I don't like that shit, man. Like, real talk, man. Like, I'm not saying all youngers do that, but goddamn, he washed up, he this and that, man. Fuck all that shit, my nigga.
I've been hearing a lot of that. I've been hearing that shit, man. I mean, they ain't tell it to me. They ain't tell it to me because, I'll roast you real quick. I'll roast them real quick. But what I'm saying is they saying that, but they're not realizing That's just like us saying to Harriet Tubman or you know the ones that you know helped us become free and all of that and escape and be the people that we supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that.
Exactly. We can't do
that.
Man. Word. And plus, look, man, you don't got that wisdom, bro. Like you gotta look at the OGs and you gotta listen, man. It could be any facet of your life. You gotta listen to the right OGs and the ones that set that precedence. Because believe it or not, if
there
it
you go. You just
them,
said it.
Word
you
up,
just said it. The right OGs, because there's a lot of people of my caliber, my stature, that did not do enough for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for the situation.
Right, the culture. So we're not saying everybody.
All the culture. So you gotta, the right ones is who you gotta pay attention to. But then there's others that, you know, they had opportunities to do things and they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they dropped the ball on it.
Yeah. And we can't, you know, we ain't gonna fault, you know, the youngsters just like that for everything, because they just they ain't get taught. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's up to us to do this.
And plus, people don't understand, I didn't mean to cut you, Finn, but people don't understand how hard it was back in the days for producers, digging in crates, carrying crates. Like, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. That was the craziest
They had the milk
era
crates.
ever. What? Milk
crates? They was rocking
man?
with the milk crates all over the place.
Exactly. Come on, man. Like, yo,
all the DJs, all the producers, milk crates. That was it. That's how they was carrying everything.
Crate.
No,
we have
no USB.
No special cases. No,
nah,
Word, man.
Nah, no flash drive. No,
nothing. USB, no nothing. You had a DAC.
You get it in a cab, man. And you carry your milk crate in the cab with all your records in it.
Exactly. It's more easier now. And what's crazy is, right, you know, we didn't grow up in the internet era or nothing like that, but we made noise. That's the difference. Without the internet, it was word of air. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo,
that's the refreshing part of it all. If here's one thing that here's one example.
This history.
Magic Sing never had a video. Did Magic Sing have a video?
Nope.
There you go.
No, it didn't have a video.
You understand what I'm saying? It didn't even have a video. The record was just dope.
Right. Definitely.
The record was just dope. There was no video for that record.
Right.
So we ain't even get no airtime on video. YouTube, nothing. But the record splashed.
Yes, sir. So, yo, you better do your research, man.
That's how you do records. The record splashed without a video.
Worldwide.
Yep.
Facts. And that's what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying?
So far,
no big machine, no push. Yeah.
So far ahead that I put my kids through college on that record.
That's what I'm talking about. Congrats to you, man, and your children. Real talk, man. That's what it's about, man. Feeding your family. Like, how do people mess up money that's feeding your family? With frivolous
because they're not taught
espionage, man. Like, yo, it's whack, man.
Nah, because they don't understand how to manage money. You know, you got to remember where we come from. We come from the grain. We come from, and it's up to us to go out there and you know, do recon and learn how to do things differently than what we've been taught or what we've seen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, you know, we got to grow and we got to learn, you know, and our people's got to learn. And that's how we figure out what to do.
Right. Definitely, my G. But
and I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at none of the youngins. You know, I want them to grow. I want them to be better.
Me too.
But I guess I gotta show improve and take it to that level. Yep.
Real talk. Lead by example. Now,
yes, sir.
I want to ask you this question about instrumental tapes, right? How do you feel about instrumental tapes? Remember back in the days or like right now, like, you know, people just throwing out instrumental tapes. How do you feel about that process? You know, like say I'll give you an example. Say for instance, you want to put out an album and you want artists to feature on there. How do you feel about those instrumentals? What's the meticulous process of making something happen like that? Like, you know, multiple. I call it an album, not a mixtape, because you know if you got real beats on there, it's not instrumental. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
how is that process? You get what I'm saying for the people that don't know?
I mean, you know, producers can put out an instrumental album,
Okay.
but at the same time, like I told you before, I don't want nobody running off of my beats, using it, and then not coming back to the table to talk to me.
Right. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it could be done, but you know, that's your sacrifice. That's what you're giving it to the world. And guess what? It can be used anywhere and everywhere. And then you gotta go and hunt and chase your money down. You know what I mean?
And they eat.
And
off your craft,
right?
And off of your production.
Right.
That's crazy.
So
no remorse.
I don't condone that. I don't give out no instrumental productions. You know what I mean? Albums or whatever. That's not how it goes here. It goes here like this. I am Fantom of the Beat. I am Haas G, a.k.a. Fantom of the Beat, Eat for the Street. I did this already, and guess what? Pay me. Period.
That's right.
Pay me.
That's what I'm talking
about. And guess
about.
what?
Yeah.
I rock a deal with you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I rock a good deal with you, especially if you're dope as I could believe, and you on point. We could do something, you know what I mean? Because later on down the road, it's going to pay off even bigger for us both.
Right. Now, what's crazy is, right, you know, me, I deal with so many artists, East Coast, West Coast, shout out to everybody, right? But then you have artists that are asking like, yo, just flood my email. How you feel about them situations? Just flood, excuse me, just flood my email.
What am I flooding your email for? Who like, why?
Yo, I'm about to put a soundbite on that joint, man. It's real talk, man.
What am I flooding your email for?
Tell me.
Actually, you should be flooding my email. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I need that. Can I get that? Can I get that? You know what I mean? What am I flooding your email for? I'm not doing all of that. You know what I mean? You know how many floods you get?
Yep.
They're getting too many floods from any and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But that's people who don't understand what's really going on. I don't need to flood your email. I'm 2 times Grammy-nominated. That's it.
Yo, that is real. Like, yo, what's crazy is, man, you know, I had producers on here. But what I'm saying is like the authenticity, man. That's what I love, man, from a perspective of a producer, because you always hear from the artist's perspective. Yo, man, I can't get no beats and all this shit. You know what I mean?
Artists is cocky. Artists are cocky. I've been an artist. We really cocky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't realize that it's the DJ, the producer, and your PR who's making your shit pop. Pardon me.
But nah, it's all good, fam. That's our show, man.
Yeah.
Man, look, this is real, man. Shout out to our radio. It's real.
You're supposed to be dope as an artist, and that's all good. But you still got to give, you know, homage to all the components that, you know what I mean, that help you get to where you're going.
Right, because the song will be done, but then they don't give a shout out to nobody that contributed to the song. So it's kind of weird. You be sitting there like, okay, well, this song is such and such, and you know, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
You know how many times I fixed the chorus? You know what I mean? I said, yo, you got to pause right here because your breath you ain't catching your breath the right way for this lyric.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the lyrics, so you got too many words in it. Take out 1 or 2 of those words and then do it this way.
Right.
You know, it'll be better. You understand what I'm saying? So all of that is a reflection of what a great producer does. You know what I mean? And what certain artists who has egotistical, they vibes that they don't want to listen sometimes, but then at the end of the day, they realize that it's fixed. and then they still don't want to say or pay acknowledge to the fact that it was fixed. And it wasn't you doing it. It was somebody else that had a little bit more knowledge and a little more, charisma and a little more, you know what I mean, game on it that helped you put your whole thing together. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Well, yo, Fantom,
so,
it was a pleasure talking to you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Any
man.
closing words?
Yeah. Fantom of the Beat, Heat for the Street. Don't get it twisted. Hodge G, UMCs. We still here. We still doing what we do. And I want everybody out there, who's listening, just pay attention to the music right now because the frequency is about to change. So,
yes, sir.
I'm going to be one of those.
Changing atmosphere.
I'm going to be one of those that's helping to lead, tomorrow's situation.
Correct. And definitely, may I have a drop for Shut 'em Down Radio?
Shut 'em Down Radio. We shut 'em down. We shut 'em down. How's she, a.k.a. Fantom of the Beat, Heat for the Street?
Yes, sir.
No need to repeat. No need to repeat. No need to repeat.
Yes, sir. Real talk, man. And also, go out there and cop all the music. Do the history. You know what I mean? Go get Fantom of the Beat new project. You know what I mean?
Audiodrome.
Boy. Audiodrome. You know what I mean? It's all over the internet. And you know what I mean? Do your history, man. Real talk. Yo, anytime you got an album or a project, man, you're welcome to come back on Shut 'em Down Radio, my G. Real talk.
I appreciate you, my G. And everybody out there, appreciate the music. Appreciate the music. We gotta do a lot better. There's other things going on too in life that we gotta do better about. But right now we just talking about music. But just in life in general, make sure we do better.
And definitely, man. And check out Fantom of the Beat on Instagram and all your handles. Give out your handles, fam.
Oh, you can find me at Fantom of the Beat. That's it. FANTOMOFTHEBEAT. Fantom with an F, not a PH. That's where everybody get confused at. So Fantom of the Beat on IG, Fantom of the Beat on Facebook, Twitter, same thing, Fantom of the Beat. And
exactly.
I'm the one and only Fantom of the Beat.
Real talk, man. Let's get it, man.
Y'all want
right here.
Yeah, we're gonna take them out with this track. But they Fantom of the Beat came from, and I'm gonna let this secret out real quick. Phantom of the Opera, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
There you go.
Real talk.
So there you go.
Exactly. All right, yo, we out, man. And like I said, go get that project, Do the History, man. You already know. Look out, boy, Fantom of the Beat. Let's get it, man. Shut 'em down.